Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, thank you so much for joining our webinar about transferable skills. I see a lot of people are still coming in, um, but I will start because I have a lot of information to share with you in only 30 minutes. During this webinar, we will dive into the skills that you need as a researcher to succeed in your future career within or without academia. And it's good to mention you will receive the presentation slides by email afterwards. So not necessary to take notes, or you can take notes, but you will receive all the important links as well. But who am I? My name is Els van der Borgt. I'm working as a communications advisor at AcademicTransfer. And what I love most about my job is helping you and others finding their career path by creating interesting content. So I'm happy to host this webinar for you today. Let's start with a short introduction about AcademicTransfer. We are the Netherlands career platform for academics, researchers, and scientists. And one of our missions is to support you in building a research career in the Netherlands. So we publish thousands of research jobs on our website, academictransfer.com. And most of the jobs are from academic institutions. But besides academia, other organizations that are looking for researchers, for example, in industry, government, or not-for-profits, also post their jobs on our platform. So you find an overview of all research jobs in one convenient place. And next to our job board, we also provide career tools to help you find your career path and prepare for your next career step. And one final thing I would like to mention about AcademicTransfer is that we are a non-commercial cooperation. The 22 organizations that you see here are members of our career platform. And those include all 14 Dutch research universities, 6 university medical centers, and the top research institutes, the Dutch Research Council, NWO in Dutch, and the Royal Netherlands Academy of Arts and Sciences, the KNAW. So we proudly represent these organizations. This is our agenda for today. First, I would like to give you some facts about PhD graduates in the Netherlands. Next, I will answer the question, what are transferable skills? How can you get to know your own skills? And we continue with some stereotypes about PhD holders and what non-academic employers look for. What skills are they looking for? And it's also important that you ask for support if needed. So we will dive into that as well. And we end with showcasing your skills, also an important part and a final step. It's a full program, so let's start. First, I would like to give you some facts about PhD graduates in the Netherlands. The number of PhD graduates increased in the last 30 years from 1,900 to 5,219 graduates. So that's really a race in PhD graduates. The employment rate amongst PhD graduates is high. About 90% is employed. PhD holders more often have a tenured job and a higher salary than master graduates. And eventually, 2 out of 3 have a career outside of academia. But there is research showing that PhD graduates don't feel prepared for a non-academic career. But 75% indicates that they still use their research skills in some extent. So, yeah, question for you is, do these numbers surprise you or not? I'm curious to know. You can always let us know via the chat. So almost 70% of the PhD graduates pursue a career outside of academia. So whether this is because there aren't sufficient senior positions within academia, or because of the personal wishes of PhD holders, it is crucial to be equipped with not only research-specific skills. You will need transferable skills because they will help you to be more broadly employable, and it will increase your chances on the job market. But what are transferable skills exactly? Transferable skills are skills that you learn in one context, for example, within research, that are useful in another context. For example, future employment, whether that is in research or in business. And those skills allow you to be interoperable between academia and other sectors. What are the key competences that researchers need for a successful research career, both inside and beyond academia? I would love to tell you more about that. In September of last year, the European Commission published the EU Competence Framework for Researchers, Research Comp in short, and it's made of 38 competences clustered in 7 areas. As you can see, the areas are cognitive abilities, self-management, working with others, doing research, managing research tools, and making an impact. So within these 7 areas, you develop skills as a researcher, like abstract and critical and analytical thinking, but also managing your own professional development. You disseminate results, you transfer knowledge, and sometimes you aren't aware that you train these skills during your PhD or postdoc. So that's why I would love to show this to you. This European framework makes the transferable skills of researchers more visible. So it can help increase your awareness and also make it easier for you to translate your skills to jobs outside of academia. These are skills that are not only useful within the academic setting, but also in other organizations. In 2021, another research from consultancy firm McKinsey Global Institute identified 56 fundamental future skills which are beneficial to every employee. And their research shows that containing these skills will increase your chances of a job, will get you higher incomes and job satisfaction. And they distinguish 4 main categories: cognitive skills, interpersonal skills, self-leadership, and digital skills. And academics often feel well developed in cognitive skills, which is logical. But to be more successful in other sectors as well, it is worth it to train yourself in the other categories. So where the European Union made a framework for researchers. Specifically, this model of McKinsey is another more general way of looking at transferable skills. And you can use both to define your own skills. What do PhDs think about the skills that they have and that are useful outside of academia? In 39 interviews with PhDs about their careers, the skills in this transferable tree were identified as being useful outside of academia. The bigger the word, the more frequently it was mentioned. Do you recognize your own skills? There are some words that catch my eye, like knowledge, analytical, perseverance, independent, writing, being quick, abstraction. I can imagine that you recognize yourself in it as well. I have showed you a lot of skills in the last minutes, and you might wonder, how can I discover my own? Aristotle, one of the greatest philosophers, once told, knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. The idea here is to make an impact in this world, you first need to know who you really are and ask yourself the right questions. So this also extends to your professional life. Career success begins with knowing yourself. And when knowing yourself, you can start shaping your own career path. So the question is, how well do you know yourself? Before you start looking for jobs, it's crucial to put some time and energy in self-reflection. What are your strengths and weaknesses? What are you good at? What is your preferred working style? And what values are most important to you in regards to work or a type of organization? And what about sharing and developing knowledge? Do you preferably work alone or maybe in a team? Do you take responsibility for your own actions? It's good to ask yourself these kind of questions, write them down, because it's a preparation for a job interview later on. To help you answer these questions and to get a better understanding of yourself, we invite you to take our self-assessment. We call it the career reflector. And with this test, you can reflect on your own talents and skills while choosing statements that fit you best. It will show who you are as an employee and what your potential is. Do you see an example of such a statement? I frequently try something new at work, or I usually focus on the facts of the situation. And the test in total consists of 149 statements. So it will give you a lot of insight about who you are as an employee. After choosing the statements, you will get a report with the results. And this will show you, for example, your preferred approach to developing and sharing knowledge, so your cognitive skills, or to relationships and working with others, the interpersonal skills, how you demonstrate personal leadership, so your self-leadership skills, and process and technical skills. And the results will show both your positive aspects, your strengths, but also your pitfalls. So it gives you insight into yourself and makes it easier to look for jobs and employers that fit you as a person. And probably you will recognize yourself in the results, but there might be some eye-openers too. It will definitely help you to put your talents into words, which is very beneficial when you are talking with future employers. When looking for your next step after a PhD or a postdoc, you might encounter some stereotypes about academics and PhD holders as well. Um, Besides being aware of your own skills, it is good to be aware of how you are perceived by non-academic employers. Some employers might still stereotype PhD holders, and knowing these stereotypes helps you in disproving them and presenting yourself to a future non-academic employer. Here you see some positive stereotypes about PhD holders. They are motivated, expert innovators, fast learners, and fast information processors. If you feel like this applies to you, use it in your conversations with employers. And here are the negative stereotypes, like PhD holders lack work experience. This is one you hear often, as if 4 years of managing a research project isn't a job. But other stereotypes are that PhD holders lack management, commercial, and interpersonal skills. They have difficulties to adapt to another more commercial environment, for example. They might be too specialized or too far removed from the real world. Maybe you have some experience with these stereotypes yourself. Being aware of these stereotypes prepares you for your next job interview. It's good to prepare some example situations that show the variety of your PhD activities, but also your collaboration skills, your flexibility, and how you would like to bring your knowledge into practice. Make use of knowing these kind of stereotypes. But what do non-academic employers look for in graduates? In general, and this information is all research based, employers are looking for new employees with the following skills: knowledge, intellect, willingness to learn, self-management skills, communication skills. I also see team working, effective learning skills, networking, negotiation, self-confidence, a lot of skills that non-academic employers look for. Most PhD graduates feel quite confident about their research skills. That is something you train the most during your PhD trajectory. Recent research shows that the emphasis of the PhD trajectory is still too much on the development of cognitive skills, while support for interpersonal skills or self-leadership skills is still a bit lacking. And the skills that PhD students possess the least are entrepreneurial skills, such as courage and risk-taking, the use and development of software, and skills such as successful negotiation and being a role model. These are skills non-academic employers look for, so you are ahead of others if you train these kind of skills. And I would advise you to reflect on all the skills that passed by during this webinar and find out which ones applies to you and use it in your to your advantage during your application. After showing you so many skills, I can imagine that you have the feeling that you should be good at everything. Of course, it's impossible to possess all the skills. Everyone has its own personality, its own qualities and pitfalls. And luckily for every job, particular skills are needed. Sometimes academics and researchers aren't aware of the skills they trained besides doing research, and I hope I could broaden your horizon today. Finally, I would like to mention that if you feel you are lacking some specific skills which are necessary for your next job, then you can always ask for support. In the Netherlands, for example, almost every university has a career services center to help you define your skills, and they often offer programs as well to train skills. But of course, you can ask a career coach to help you find your career path, or take a course to train skills that you need in the future. And last but not least, talk to people. It might always help to talk to peers, your family, friends, but also to your current supervisor if you have one. He or she might know which courses would be good for you to follow. And last but not least, when you are aware of your transferable skills, don't forget to showcase them, because it will really increase your chances of finding a job. So add your skills to your academic transfer profile if you have one. Add it to your LinkedIn profile, mention it on your CV, in your motivation letter, and present your skills during a job interview. It's important not to forget to promote your skills and promote yourself. One final tip I would like to give you to increase your chances on finding a job is to create an account on AcademicTransfer.com. Dutch university recruiters are searching for candidates in our database. So if you make your profile visible to employers, they can contact you with new job offers. And if you would like to receive our latest blog posts and future webinars in your mailbox, please sign up for our monthly newsletter as well. That was it. I don't know if we still have some time for some questions that you may have. So please feel free to ask them in the chat. And otherwise, I would say thank you all for joining this webinar. I hope it was of help, and hope to see you next time. Please keep an eye on our website, on our socials, and we will run future webinars in the coming months as well. So. I will wait if there are still some questions, but I see people leaving already. So have a nice morning, afternoon, evening. Don't know where you are located. Bye bye.